Good evening, race fans, and thank you once again for tuning in on a Sunday night here at True Sim Productions. We are blazing pedals tonight for the NextGen series at Chicagoland Speedway, a bigger style track, a fun style track in these next gens. I know the speeds are high, but the thing I'm excited about the most, I'm joined by somebody who hasn't been here since Friday, but before that, it's been a while. Mr. Sammy B. Sam, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good tonight, Tanner. I'm excited to come back once again and announce for the Blazing Pedals guys and girls, and to see how they're going to handle this Chicagoland Speedway, mainly because we know that Chicagoland has since been leveled. I don't think it's standing anymore. So to see these next-gen cars here, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what these guys are going to do, which lines they're going to run. Is the top going to come in? Is the bottom going to come in? What's tires going to look like? It's going to be a fun night overall.
I believe it will be, as well as I believe they have about 2 minutes left to practice. So let's send it down trackside here for tonight's rendition of the national anthem. We'll be back momentarily.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, race fans, we are back. Want to send a huge shout out to Mullet Music Productions for the fine national anthem we heard there. Chris has a different version when he runs it. Mine's a more country acoustic style version. So shout out Mullet Music Productions, shout out Joshua Rutherford for providing that for us. And shout out to these boys and lady out here providing some, I believe it's going to be a good night of racing.
And if you enjoyed his national anthem, make sure you guys go check out his YouTube channel. It's Mullet Music Productions over on YouTube. Give him a subscription and a thumbs up on a couple of his videos. He'll greatly appreciate it.
As a fellow YouTuber, I guess we can kind of call ourselves that, although I don't think we are, but we use YouTube, right? I know the likes and comments help out a bunch. So speaking of that, hit the thumbs up on this video right now. Helps out a ton. As qualifying is getting underway. Let's see who's going to be the first car out. Looks like it's going to be Dalton Kilroe, Sam.
Dalton Kilroe on the number 41 heading out on track right now. He's got to get as much momentum as he can here. You see him kind of wiggling back and forth, trying to build a little heat in those tires. Now, Tanner, they run the same cars on Friday nights, but it's open setup, so a little bit different here tonight. Everybody's on the same setup. However, we noticed that the the second lap at Richmond was the quickest, but in these cars, it can kind of flip-flop. I'm wondering if it's going to be the first lap here tonight on one of these cookie cutters.
I would think so. Just because these are a bigger style track like Richmond, where we was Friday night. It was a good night of racing too, but it being smaller, I think they just use that first lap hitting the tires. Maybe they're going to do that here tonight too. You see Dalton up by the wall. That's one thing we're going to see a lot tonight. You're going to see a lot of different lanes.
You're going to see a lot of different lanes, but the question is what is that going to do to the right side tires? Is that really going to upset them? I was talking to one of the drivers here right before we started, Samuel Party Boy Lawson. He says he feels good. He's kind of like running that middle line, but same thing I just said. I told him, make sure you watch that tire wear because you might hurt yourself later on in the race.
As Dalton's first lap is going to be a 31.49 for the 41. Gets knocked off by the 8 of Amanda Sherman, and then Eric Blount comes up and does the same thing. So it looks like it's going to definitely be a second lap.
Yeah, but if you notice, Dalton moved back down to the bottom here for his second lap. So he's easily going to shave off a couple of tenths here. Might jump that 41 machine back up on provisional pole.
Absolutely. That's what it looks like. He used that first lap just to get the speed, get the engine wound up. At the line, he does indeed 2/10 quicker with a 30.77 for the 41 of Kilroe. Winless this season so far. That's a stat that we would not expect 20 races in, but yes, winless for the 41. Still second in the points.
Not too many other people have gone out yet, Tanner. Right now, I'm looking at Philip Van Vliet in that number 89, the lone Dutchman out there. He's already ran his first lap 31.52. Goes down to the bottom side of the racetrack there in 1 and 2. Let's see what he does in 3 and 4 and if he can improve on that 31.52.
As the track is starting to heat up, we should be able to time this pretty good. As Van Vliet finishes, Dylan Banks is going to be looking to start his. Let's see what Van Vliet does here. Jumped up to P3. Now let's throw the camera on to the 48 in the hunt for the playoffs. Wants to get inside the top 16. Many races short than the competition, but he is gaining points on them each and every week. Actually gained the most points this past race that he could. Like all the points available, he got them. So he's hungry. He wants it. See what he does here.
First lap out, he just got the green flag. It looks like he's just going to elect to go down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Not even going to try to wind that car up like Kilroe did. So a little bit different of strategy here for the number 48 in qualifying, but kind of he's using that middle lane there in 3 and 4. Now remember that here at Chicagoland in 3 and 4, there are some bumps there on the bottom of the racetrack you got to watch for. So maybe he's just trying to avoid those and not upset the car. First lap for Dylan Banks goes 4th quickest with a 30.93.
Putting those left side tires, they were almost on the apron. Painting that white line in 1 and 2. What's he going to do on this side of the track?
There you go. He goes all the way to the bottom side. Last lap probably was just trying to build a little extra momentum coming out of 4, but out of 4 here for the final time on his qualifying run. Can he improve? Quick time, 30.63 for the number 48 of Dylan Banks. He jumps up to provisional pole.
As I believe it looks like we have the So Stiller, Brian Dees on the number 17. Going out here, going to get the car up to speed here on his out lap. As look to the side, Hunter Lagoons just jumped up to P2 with a 30.74 for the 27. He told me he was feeling good. The car was a little tight, but the 27 of Hunter Lagoons said he thinks he has a shot tonight.
Party Boy Lawson jumps up to 4th as well with a 30.82. So good run out of the number 24. I was talking to him before the race. Said he wasn't feeling too confident in qualifying, and I don't know. The time shows different. He's sitting 4th right now. As Brian Dees takes a green flag, he's going to run the top side of the racetrack here to build a momentum in that race car. Trying to be as smooth as possible here. Comes off of turn 4, building all the momentum he can in that number 17 MFRD Racing Designs Chevy Camaro. Takes the green flag there, or I'm sorry, completes his first lap, 31.10. Now it's going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack. See what he can do on his second lap. Had to get out of the throttle right there.
Little crack of the throttle. It's going to hurt him a little bit down the long back stretch. But it's been really smooth since we jumped in this cockpit.
Good lap so far out of turn 4 and across the line to complete his qualifying run. Soul Stealer's going to jump up to 4th, 30.79.
Switching over to Corey Sherman at number 3. This is his first lap. When he crosses the line, he will be starting his second. What can the 3 car do? Remember, some drivers, they're using the first lap as a throwaway lap. Other drivers are trying to get it on both laps.
Yeah, but if you watch Dylan Banks, he kind of went to the bottom in 1 and 2 on his first lap and then used the higher side in 3 and 4 to get that momentum off the corner. So I haven't really seen anybody else do that just yet. So Maybe somebody else will try. Corey Sherman, though, first lap 30.92. What is he going to do here?
It's going to currently put him in 10th here. He needs a good run tonight. Not had good luck the past, I was going to say few weeks, but I think it's really been like the past 8 weeks. The 3-car needs a good change of scenery here tonight. Needs to be inside the top 10.
Looked really good coming off turn 4 there, right up against the outside wall. Jumps up top 5 spot, 30.79. So good run out of the number 3 priority auto. What is that, a Chevy Camaro? Or is he running the Toyota again?
I think he's in the Yoda. Corey Sherman is in the Toyota, just like his fellow TNA Motorsports teammate, the 51 of Cody Heisman, the catch-up man.
Well, you know, Corey, he likes to switch between the Chevy and the
he
Toyota.
Does,
so,
absolutely.
You know.
That's why I had to go check. I didn't know for certain. See what the 51 can do here. Lap number 1 for Cody. P12.
Takes a nice wide arc into turns 1 and 2, puts that race car all the way down to the white line, lets it roll up off the corner. I think we're going to see him probably, if I had to take a guess, he's going to jump up to 3rd position with this qualifying lap. That's going to be my guess.
You're guessing 3rd? I'm going to guess 2nd. I'm playing with the drone cameras here, sorry. Trying to figure out, I'm pushing buttons, folks. I can't help it. See what the 51 does at the line.
2nd.
P2
there you go.
For Cody Heisman, the catch-up man. 30.67.
Only 2 drivers, though, have been able to crack the 6s here, and that's Dylan Banks and Cody Heisman. So 2 drivers, really good qualifying times. Hunter Lagoons, he was close with the 7.4, but just not quite enough.
Here's a driver that might be able to do it. Just completing his first lap. None other than the 99 Pit Wizard Performance 5 Kings Motorsports driver, Chris Carroll. Looking to get another race win on the season. He has 4 on the year, Sam, but he has not won since Nashville. That's been many weeks back.
When did he reverse color change his car?
It's very weird. It's very weird. I believe the All-Star break or the All-Star race is when he changed it to white, but absolutely throws me off still to this day. Where's he going to go?
Only 14th
14th fastest for the 99 of Chris Carroll. Wow. Jump over to Jamie Walker. Jamie's just completed lap number 1 of qualifying.
But we've seen this before, Tanner. I mean, some of these faster guys, you know, we've seen Jamie do it 100 times here in Blazing Pedals. Sometimes they'll just not necessarily sandbag qualifying, but they try to start in the back, right? They like to be able to work their way up through the field, you know, and just kind of figure out the car, figure out what it's going to do. So I could see Jamie, Chris, you know, those guys trying to do that. Whereas you see Dylan Banks and Cody Heisman, they're always trying to qualify up front, trying to kind of work the field, you know, pace the field, I guess you could say.
I dig it because another veteran to the series, Mr. Jamie Walker, 11th quickest. So I believe what you're saying. As I believe all the drivers that normally qualify have done win. It's just on Mike Massingill. We know each and every week he elects to not qualify, so I believe that's it. So it looks like Dylan Banks is going to take home the MFRD Pole Award, as well as Cody Heisman picking up the Front Row Award from MFRD. Get that grid rocking and rolling, Sam. Like we mentioned, starting on the pole, it's the 48 of Dylan Banks. Starting to his outside, row number 1, it's going to be the catch-up man, Cody Heisman. Starting 3rd, it's the junker, the 27 of Hunter Lagoons, with Chad Wilson, the rookie of the series, his 2nd or 3rd race, maybe 2nd, starting outside, row number 2. Then the 5th place spot, Dalton Kilroe, and the 41, excuse me. 6th is Chris Berg. 7th is going to be Larry Bird. 8th, Corey Sherman. 9th, John Perkins, and 10th, the So Stealer, Brian Dees.
Jamie Walker is going to be starting in 11th position with Austin Edstrom to his outside in 12th. Moving on down, you got Party Boy Lawson starting in 13th with Eric Blount starting in 14th. Philip Van Vliet, the lone Dutchman, starts 15th. He's going to have Ty Morosco to his outside in 16th. Chris Carroll going to be starting back there in 17th position. He'll have Dustin Payton to his outside in 18th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin starting 19th. He's going to have Gordon Larson Jr. in 20th to his outside. Rick Thompson, RT76, starting back there in 21st to his outside. Amanda Sherman in 22nd. Aaron Bockover is going to be starting in 23rd. Haven't heard that name in a while. Fred Thompson's going to be rolling off P24. Jason Bauer 25th, and shotgun on the field tonight, Mike Massengill in the number 20 in 26th. 26 drivers, 162 laps. It's time to get it on here in Chicagoland.
162 laps. Remember, folks, we are stage racing out here tonight. Let me get the stages pulled up. Whoop. Give me buttons. So lap number 1, or stage number 1 is going to end at lap number 30. Stage number 2 is 64. Fuel tonight. What was the fuel run tonight, Sam?
About 58 to 63 laps.
Roughly, right? The draft may help them out a little bit. They may be able to go 64, 65. I'm looking at you, Kilrow, in the 41. But that's going to be about average, about 58 to 63 laps here tonight on a fuel run.
Well, we know Dalton. He's been saving fuel since last week.
Since birth. As it's almost go time. Can't make it up, too. Look who occupies the front row, Chris Legoo. He's going to be smiling when he watches us back.
Green flag is out, and we're rolling here at Chicagoland. Dylan Banks gets a pretty good jump there on Cody Heisman, but he's going to hang tight on the door as we go barreling down into turns 1 and 2. You see Chad Wilson, he kind of runs up near the wall a little bit, pulls it back down, going to stick it on the door there of Hunter Lagunas in number 27.
It's basically the battle of the two teams,
Whoa.
TNA versus 5 Kings. You got 2 5 Kings drivers on the bottom, and the 48 and the 27, and then the 51 and the 21 are also TNA Motorsports teammates. So
I don't know if you saw that.
I did. Getting a little dicey early.
Yeah, way early, lap 1, and they're making a little bit of contact there. You see Heisman right on the door of that number 48 machine, trying to take the lead, trying to be able to control this race. He's going to have the momentum on the outside, but Banks hangs on that left rear quarter panel, tries to side draft them a little bit, going back down in turns 3 and 4.
Clean air matters here, folks. They want to get out in front. They want to get the clean air on the nose of that car. Look at the 48 wash up a little bit. Heisman has the advantage here on the high side. He has the momentum, and he's just able to keep the 48 held down. Got him crossed up with the wheel, having to let out the throttle, stay off of him.
You see Banks, though, he's kind of driving it in a lot, like more than the 51 is. I think the 51's getting off the throttle a little bit earlier. That allows Banks to get to the side of him. That's why Heisman, he just can't seem to pull him on the back straightaway. He does have a little bit of help coming down the back straightaway with that number 21 of Chad Wilson.
It's always nice to have a friend in your mirror instead of an enemy or a competitor. Yeah, there's a friend. There's a friendly back there. We have battles going on everywhere. I wish we had a little bit of camera that went back a little bit further. As Kilroy's looking to move forward, as Hunter Lagoons, we saw him start in P3. He's already fell back to P6.
Kilroy is looking to move forward as he just ran the fastest lap of the race thus far, 30.87 for the 41. And Heisman takes the lead away. He finally clears that 48. Now you see the number 66 of Chris Berg looking to the inside of the 21 of Chad Wilson.
All the drivers up in the top 7, cutting that dog leg, getting down as far as they can, almost clipping the grass there. Make that track as short as they can. Hey, we're having some electrical issues for Chris Berg there.
Yeah, I think he actually kind of dropped there. He went all the way down on SDK. I don't think he's here anymore. I think he's gone.
That was he dropped like an anchor too. I've never seen anybody drop that fast. As the 17 of the Soul Stealer looking to make a pass over Larry Bell. Larry's trying to fight on the outside lane. I believe the outside lane's where you want to be, honestly, though, here. It just looks like you're most steady.
I also don't know what happened to the 00 of Gordon Larson Jr. Ran 2 laps and then, went to pit road and put it on the hauler. He's done for the night, it looks like. Battle going on back here between Larry Bell and John Perkins for 9th and 10th, and you got Jamie Walker and Chris Carroll in the mix as well. Carroll trying to make it 3 wide here on the front straightaway, not able to get there. Not enough momentum, but Perkins clears the number 4 Bell. So Perkins up into 9th position, but here comes Chris Carroll down on the bottom side of the racetrack.
That is the Hornet's Nest we speak of each and every week, folks. You ever wonder what it is? You're looking at it. Cars everywhere. Everybody trying to just get in where they fit in and trying to get that track position. It matters early. I know folks see that it's 162 laps. We're only taking lap number 7. I get it. It's a long race, lap number 8 now. But these cars, it's hard to pass. Track position is and always will be king.
A lot of slicing and dicing going on back here as drivers trying to work their way up to the front. One of them drivers is Austin Edstrom. He's up into 3rd now, Tanner. 9 spots gained so far. Next closest person to him on spots gains is Chris Carroll with 8 spots gained in 9th. But Austin Edstrom trying to make a point here tonight. He's moving his way up towards the front. Now looking to the outside of Dylan Banks here for the 2nd spot.
He's trying to split the lovebirds up. And folks, look at the paint scheme. That's a paint scheme dedicated to Mr. Dylan Banks and Cody Heinzman and their love affair.
That's a way of putting it.
Chris would be proud. I don't know how else to put it.
I think the paint scheme looks ridiculous. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll leave it at that. But the top 4 single filed out. Dalton Kilrow, he's actually got some good momentum here coming off turn 4. Looking to the outside of Banks down the front straightaway. Not able to get there just yet. But top 4 single filed out. Then you got Chad Wilson and Hunter Lagunas battling it out for the 5th position. Wilson has that momentum up top. He's cleared him down the back straightaway. Lagunas falls back in line. He's got the Soul Stealer, Brian Dees, right behind him. And Corey Sherman sitting in 8th.
Corey has officially made it at least 10 laps here tonight, so that's a start for the 3 car. Exactly what he needs.
Well, if he wrecks, we got to try and, queue up his stream, see how mad he gets.
Right. That's Chris Carroll. You mentioned it. 8 spots he's gained. So is Dustin Ping, 81. Gained 8 spots. So we say we can't pass in this car. Well, they're proving you can pass. It's hard, but you can do it. But like you mentioned earlier, our biggest mover. I mean, I don't know where it's come from. He's up 10 spots already. Just charging.
Like I said, we know how Chris Carroll is. I think what he was trying to do is kind of feel out the car. What's it going to do here? See how it runs in traffic. And you see he's making passes, working his way up towards the front. So I don't know if he's got it figured out just yet, but he probably will by the end of the race.
He's trying to make the pass on Corey Sherman here. Corey's going to have the momentum down the backstretch. We see it time in and time out.
Little side draft there out of that number 3 car.
It was.
He's trying to hang on there on that top side. Just, I think Chris Carroll might have the better tires here, maybe. I don't know. Just saving them just a little bit better. Maybe not coming off the corner as hard as Corey is, but Corey's hanging strong on that top side right now, trying to hang on to that 8th position. Carroll gets him right here. He's going to try and pull a slide job. It looks like he slides up in front of that number 3.
He got there, but man, oh man, it took him a while to get there.
That was a good move, though. I mean, went down, he slid right up in front of him, took the air off the nose of that 3 car. But don't look now. Here comes Dustin Ping in the number 81 trying to make a move on the 99.
Ping has been on fire as of late. Has absolutely been on fire. You see the difference, though. When Carroll went down to the apron and Ping stayed up on the track mostly, you saw the difference. But look, Ping's right back to the back bumper of the 99 of Chris Carroll.
Go back up to the front. We actually have a battle going on for the lead. Now, Edstrom has caught the back bumper of that number 51 of Cody Heinzman. Almost had a run on him there down the back straightaway, Tanner. But Heinzman, he came up and took the air off the nose of that number 81, and he kind of fell back just a little bit more. But he almost had him. I want to point that out there.
I've learned watching the battles between the 51 and the 48, no matter which one of them who's leading, they can both manipulate the air. They know what to do to place their car to slow that guy behind them down. Now, the 51 elected to go to the high side of the track here, gave the 87 of Austin Edstrom, gave him the bottom lane. Was not able to make the pass there, though.
It's kind of a guessing game, right? Like
it is.
When you're the 87 right now, you're guessing, all right, where's he going to go? Is he going to go to the bottom or is he going to go to the top? So I think that's what the 51's trying to do right now is just keep him guessing so he can keep his car out there in the lead. Because you see, these two are starting to battle, and here comes the 48. Once again, he's going to go down the bottom of the racetrack, try and take over that 2nd spot.
What a shot NASCAR is providing us here. This is the NASCAR camera pack. That's a good-looking shot. As the 48, he is there, and he's bringing the 41 with him as well. I gotta ask the question though. We've both mentioned it. Edstrom, 10 spots he's gained. What damage has he done in his tires in these first 15 laps? Because now look, Banks is on the attack. It looks like Edstrom, he went from being on offense, Sam. Now he's actually switched. He's having to play some defense now.
Yeah, because watch, Dalton Kilroy, he's going to go to the bottom. He's probably going to get to that left rear quarter panel here, too. I don't know, man. He came up to the field very, very quickly, up 9 spots thus far. He probably put a hurting on them tires, but at least he knows now, hey, I can't really run that hard next time, unless we get a short run later in the race where we get a quick caution, and he knows exactly what he's got to do.
So that's what I was about to say. This stage is only 30 laps. Use this stage as like a test. Go out here and try something. I think that's what we saw the 87 do. He knows now for certain he has great short run speed.
He's pulling a Wellman.
Right. That is a wild man Wellman move.
That is the Wellman move for sure.
And a Corey Sherman move. Sherman would do it. I've seen him do it. But yeah, wild man for sure.
See, Steven Johnson in the chat, Tanner, he says hashtag top line, best line. So Steven Johnson knows something that we don't know.
I think that's where you want to be at.
Is that where you want to be at, though? Because, I mean, trust me, as a racer myself, I mean, I love being up next to the wall as much as the next person, but the thing is, I've always heard that you use more tire up there.
Right. I don't like being up there just frank. Oh, we got a wreck between Cody and Dylan. He turned him. He turned him.
Relationship implications, ladies and
No
gentlemen.
yellow. And the 51 saved that car. And now I'm yelling, and Emily got up out of bed. She was out back with me. She said, I'm not listening to that. My goodness. We got to go back and see. We're still live, folks. I mean, we're green.
Ooh. You know, I just heard Dylan Banks come up over the radio and say that was netcode. Dylan, if you're watching this, you're going to want to go watch that because you came up and just turned that, man, bro. Straight up.
We got it playing here.
He comes up. Watch. Comes up. Oh,
ooh, yeah, just tagged him.
That ain't no netcode. Get out of here.
Man, oh man. Now look at Edstrom. We said he was on defense. He's back on offense to 48. Better start looking in that mirror. As man, oh man, that's interesting there. That's interesting there. Folks, I said it. They race too hard around each other. It's going to start happening.
More communication from the drivers here. It was Dylan saying, I don't know if that was me. It might have been netcode. Yeah, and race control. Sorry, I'm trying to listen too, Tanner. Race control letting them know you had about an inch to where you weren't clear. But he definitely, I mean, we've seen it. He definitely made contact.
Absolutely.
That's a product of when you're trying to side draft, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. That's exactly what happens. It can happen. We've seen it happen to many people. Not only that, even in real life, we've seen it happen. Right. You just misjudge it.
One little minute mistake, and boom, you're Cody Heinzman getting sent to the infield.
Oh, go to Dustin Peng right now and look at this gaggle behind him. I mean, there's cars all over the place.
Well, we can get a far out camera shot.
Try TV3.
Here we go.
They were
Chad Wilson. Look at
wide.
this. Wilson's falling all the way back to P11.
What could that be by design? Could be he just be trying to save some tire right now. I mean, not really a whole much to lose. I mean, kind of came in late in the season, if I'm not mistaken. So,
whoa,
not really a whole lot to lose.
John Perkins, sorry, Sam, cut you off. Making contact right there. Looks like that was a miscommunication. I think Perkins thought the 3 was going to the apron, and he was not.
And that's something you got to keep an eye out for, too, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yeah, you can use that apron to your advantage, but there are some drivers who just won't use it, and you got to keep an eye out for that.
24, sorry, I cut you off again. John Perkins, man, he's being used and abused here, it looks like.
I wouldn't say he was getting used there.
No, right, he just showed him off, but painting a picture.
Yeah, he definitely gave him a shot going into the corner. Lawson looking to put it 3 wide, gives him a shot again going into 1.
You might have a yellow before the actual stage yellow here. 16 getting tight, pushing up into Party Boy.
Oh, man, that was tight. Good job by the 16 to keep it off of him.
If you're the 10 of TBB, the 1 of Tom Orozco, you do not like what you're seeing out your windshield here. You want to see this get sorted pretty quick.
Now, we know Taylor Butcher Benjamin. We know Ty Morosco. I think Taylor would see something like this and back out of it. Ty, on the other hand, he's going to keep his foot down.
We say that. We say that. Look, they're 3 wide. They were 3 wide for a moment there.
Yep, and you see TBB he's still falling back there, and Ty Morosco gains a spot. So I guess I just got proved right there.
Yep. As Perkins is in the Hornet's nest, Corey Sherman's in the Hornet's nest. They're starting to get it sorted, I believe. They're still side by side, but it looks more tame than what it looked a while ago. I say that as the 24 gets into the wall, the one's going to stick it 3 wide.
Corey about got turned
right there. Oh, the 4 wide! That's not going to work.
4 wide, going into 1 and 2, 3 wide. Lawson up top. Who's going to back out?
Oh, Dees and Carroll.
3 wide ahead of him. Oh, my God.
Dees and Carroll, not a lot of space between them. They're 3 wide.
Oh!
I don't...
Here comes Perkins to make it 3 wide off of 4.
This won't last much longer. It can't last. They're racing for stage points here, folks.
Are we at Chicagoland or Daytona?
Right.
Which one?
Remember, the stage is going to end at the end of lap number 30 if they get there. I want to remind people, too, this is the battle for 7th.
Here comes Lawson, 3 wide again, out of turn number 2.
Ah, they're just making too much contact. The bomb's got to explode, Sam. The fuse is just being lit, and it's burning for way too long.
Orozco up in the outside wall, got a huge shot from Payne going into the corner, bounces off the wall. Good run out of turn 4, though. Didn't really lose too much momentum there. We're 4 wide again down the front straightaway.
This is where it blows.
Brian Dees and Sam Lawson make contact. Taylor
TBB! Big hit for TBB. That's going to be a night ender right there for the 10 car. And I don't know who else was involved.
Oh, Samuel Lawson.
I say you get what you sow. I mean, they brought that.
I don't really know if that was like 100% Lawson's fault.
No, I don't. No. I'm taking all the hard racing. We were calling it, right? It was bound to happen. They were just racing really hard, all of them. 10 cars
actually,
right there.
I'm looking back at it right now. It starts with Brian Dees and Lawson making contact here. Dees goes all the way to the apron. And if you watch, Lawson kind of has to split the apron in the racetrack, and Dees tries to come up, hits Lawson, and that gets him out of shape. I don't know who you put that on. I mean, there's nothing that says Lawson really has to let Brian Dees back up on the racetrack. I mean, you see he's trying to get back up too. They're 4 wide. I mean, that's a hard one to put. Because, I mean, Lawson gets out of shape because the 17 hits him there coming up off the apron. So, I mean, realistically, I feel like you could put it on Dees, but you could put it on Lawson for not controlling his car, right? I mean, they made contact, but Lawson's the one that lost it, right?
I think. It's tough. It's a tough call. I don't know. I feel like that's night image for both of them guys. I thought that was a bigger wreck than what it was too. I only saw 2 cars.
It was only 2 cars that really had significant damage. It was Lawson and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. But I mean, man, Lawson was telling me earlier he felt he was good here. He was like, I may not qualify well, but I feel like I got a good race car. So it's a shame to see his night ended that early.
How many times did we call and scream 4 wide right then? That was crazy.
3 or 4.
That was crazy. That's some good races. That's what the NextGen car can provide, right? It can provide that, but it can provide the wrecks too, because everybody's just right on top of each other. One little mistake, and that's all. I do
want to point out.
I see it.
Now you were mentioning that Sherman, he was having some bad luck this season.
That's all.
Electing to stay out here.
I don't know if I like the call, but I do know he's getting stage points right here, right? And getting a lap lead bonus. So I think it's just a points call for him. I think he's just going to regroup for at the end of this next stage. There might be a caution in between now and the next stage. He's going to pit. He's going to go pit. So yeah, it was just a stage point call. I like it. It's going to be the tail end now.
I don't want to. 1 second, Tanner. I'm sorry. I'm listening to. You can still talk, but I was listening to Race Control there. Finish up talking. Race Control comes down, ladies and gentlemen. It will be the 17, the Soul Stealer, going to the rear of the field for that one. Race Control said he went down to the apron, came up off the bottom, didn't really keep it down there, hit Lawson, and that's what ultimately caused the wreck.
So Brian Dees dropping to the back.
And then Brian Dees comes back and asks race control, did you say 4 wide? So Dees didn't even know they were 4 wide.
Wow. I'm telling you.
Well, you know, Tanner, that's something that we know with iRacing, right? That most of these default spotters, they won't call you 4 wide.
They don't say it. They won't say
They
it.
don't say it at all. So that's not surprising to hear that a driver didn't know that they were 4 wide. Unless you actually had somebody, you know, actually spotting for you, you would never know that.
And I know personally the Jimmy Johnson pack. I use it, and it's popular. If you're on the low side, it'll say 3 cars outside, but it don't just actually say 3 wide or 4 wide. But yeah, I mean, it's very easy not to know.
So Sherman stayed out to get some points, but now he's shown back in 21st, which gives the lead over to Roscoe. Okay.
Up 15 spots since they hit the grid. Got the race win at Daytona. I pegged it then. I said he's going to pick up 3 race wins this season. I truly felt it, and I'm not going to back out on that yet. There's still more than 3 races left, right? So I'm not going to back out on that. I'm going to ride or die with it. He's going to pick up 2 more races, 2 more race wins before the season's over with. It is tonight, one of them, though. Got the lead early. By strategy, but he has it.
I got $5 that says that the 41 and the 1 are going to launch at the same time. What do you think?
I'm going to match that bet because, yeah, absolutely they are. Because they're going to probably be a countdown involved, you think?
Yeah, it's something of the sort.
Right. Or say, like, hey, when I cross this spot here, I'm firing at this spot.
Something along those lines. It's still early in the race. Right. I know these guys, but
it's great. It's great to have friends, bro. It is good to have friends around you.
Unless it's the last start of the race, then there is no friends.
Right. We've always said we'll race each other as best we can, taking care of each other until it's about 10 laps to go or the last restart. Or late restart. Speaking of restarts, we're going back green flag racing here, Sam. Kyle Morosco, Dalton Kilroy, that's your front row. Banks, Lagoons, that's your second row.
Well, I stand corrected. I don't think there was a countdown there.
If there was, Dalton did not go. But yeah. I don't believe it.
Laguna is all over the back bumper, though, pushing Dalton down into turn 1. That's actually going to help him keep the momentum to try and keep second from Dylan Banks.
Propelled him forward for sure.
Well, don't look now, because here comes Carroll.
Was looking like it was going to be 3 wide for a second. They thought better of it and backed out of it. Edstrom giving the 99 a little bit of a shove down the front straightaway.
I'm looking at the pit stop times real quick, Tanner, and I mean, Ty Morosco, he obviously came down pit road, but only 11-second stop. I'm wondering if maybe it was a 2-tire call on that number 1.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't even notice it. I saw all the double digits and just thought it was 14, 15 seconds. Yeah, Ty Morosco, I think, made a 2-tire call and just got fuel. Interesting.
Working for him now, 3 wide back behind him. Jamie Walker on the bottom. Perkins in the middle. Eric Blount up top.
We got
the high side's working.
We got 3 of our drivers that's in the BPO bracket challenge tonight, folks. I haven't mentioned it yet, but the final 4, it's tonight. Rick Thompson, Jamie Walker, they're going head-to-head. Whoever finishes better of them 2, they advance to the championship. And then on the other side of the bracket, we have who? Cody Heinzman and Dalton Kilroy. Whoever wins on that side, they advance to the bracket championship tonight. So they want to finish better than their matchup, than their competitors tonight.
Heinzman's actually battling Walker right now. He's trying to make his way back up to the field after that contact with the 48 earlier.
As I believe,
electrical issues out of the 41 right now.
Big.
It was big enough to... Oh, Ty Morosco goes around.
Oh, my goodness. What happened?
I believe the electrical issues played something
into
it.
Ty Morosco's not had the luck lately. Don't let that be it. Whoa. I think it was. No way. Sam, watch this.
Oh, my God. It was.
Watch this. I'm showing it live right now.
Look at that.
No, I'm not going to. Bro, that's insane. I got to show it.
That was horrible.
I got to go back and watch it. Folks, watch this.
So Dalton's having electrical issues, and what we mean by that, obviously, is something wrong with his internet, right? He's got a hiccup in the ISP service, and I mean that. Dalton's even trying to plead his case over the radio right now. He's saying I was nowhere near him, and he wasn't. He definitely wasn't. That was just a case of really, really bad netcode.
That's the worst I've ever seen. That is the worst I've ever seen, and I'm not joking at all. Not exaggerating.
There's a lot of drivers right now communicating with Dalton, letting them know how bad it actually was.
I want to see this.
And race control just came back over and said that Dalton's internet has kind of settled down a little bit, but he's going to the back anyways. So another heavy hitter going to the back.
Right on board here with Ty. Everything's good. Everything's fine. He's loving life. 2-tire call here, Sam. Loving life, leading. Got a teammate behind him. All he sees him blinking a little bit, but I'm far enough ahead of him thinking surely. And then he's not.
He had no idea what hit him.
Right.
I mean, like literally had no idea what hit him right there. The question is what kind of damage does he have now because of that? He hit the wall a ton.
I'm speechless, bro. I don't know where we go from there. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I believe that's going to hand the lead over to the junker. Hunter Lagoons.
It does.
Because Dalton's going to the back. That's naturally from the EOL. He's going to get the black flag, right? If he was deemed at fault, I guess you got to deem him at fault, right? Even though it was this connection. I mean, what do you do there?
It's a really tough call. I know when me and Mark used to do race control, if netcode was that bad, you really can't put it on anyone. It's not really anybody's fault besides the internet's. But race control came down and said that Dalton would be going to the back, so he's going to the back.
I want you to look at something here too, Sam. Dalton's car. I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if you see it. It don't have a scratch on the front of it.
No.
So like it's almost as if his car didn't even register a touch. This car didn't. Dalton's actual front end of his car didn't even register a touch. That's insane.
What are Ty streaming right now?
I hope so. I mean that's quality content right there. I hate to be that guy, but I'm sorry. I got to be that guy.
It is.
I got to be that guy right now because Ty.
Oh, he is streaming.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and clip it real quick, and then.
Well, I hope he saves his VOD because then I will, and you guys can use it for next week.
Can you text him and tell him to save his VOD?
Yeah, I can actually.
Yeah, just tell him to save his VOD for us.
Oh, I can do better than that. I can actually text him.
All right. Yep. Well, I didn't know if you could text him or like, I didn't think you sent it by mail it'd get there quick enough.
Well, he can't see it anyway if he's in VR right now, but he is on pit road.
Okay. I wish I could key up and just tell him.
I don't think I can do that.
No, probably not.
I'm not an admin in this session, so I can't talk to everybody.
I'm not gonna worry about it. It's all good. That's a tough break though. That's a tough break for Ty Morosco there.
Especially since he said he's not been having a very good season. I mean,
it's been awful as of late. It's been awful for him.
He takes a shot, he's out there leading away on 2 tires, which kind of, showed the hand for other people if they want to try it later in the race, I suppose. But, he's doing good, leading a few laps, and he product of netcode. I know how that feels. I do know how that feels.
You're the whole reason we have a netcode shirt. Over at SavageEdge.com.
Well, I hate that saying because most of the time when someone says, "Oh, sorry, that was netcode," it wasn't netcode.
Hey, brother.
That was actually netcode.
Hey, I want to tell Dalton sorry that was netcode because that was absolutely netcode. That was some netcode I've never witnessed before.
Well, when Dylan Banks keyed up and said, "Oh man, that must have been netcode,"
that one was not netcode.
No, but that, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been on iRacing a long time, that is literally most drivers' excuses. Is they'll just jump to the netcode. Oh, sorry, man, that was netcode. No, it wasn't. You hit him. Back to green here, Hunter Lagunas. Fires him off. Chris Carroll sleeping a little bit. He loses 2 or 3 spots right there.
It could be more. Edstrom fighting now. What is that going to pull? Look
Oh,
at
but look at
Carroll.
the
Look at the run
Woo!
Carroll had, but also Edstrom in the 87. Yeah, I forget his number because obviously you can't even see it. Look at the 81 giving a shot to the 99, trying to get him up there. That's going to be almost 3 wide. Ping actually edges out in front of him just a little bit.
A lot going on right here right now. Laguna's trying to hold on to the race lead. Chris Carroll up top, trying to hold off Dylan Banks. Edstrom on the bottom as well. Heinzman, he moved up to the top onto the back straightaway, but he's trying to push it 3 wides a couple of times. Here comes Dustin Ping on the top side.
I was going to just, as soon as you finish, 81, he's fast car on the track right now. 3 wide for the race lead. 27 in the middle. 81, 27 contact. Look at Dustin Ping.
Special out of the 81 right here. He almost cleared both of them down the backstretch, man. That was nuts.
He's got to be careful. 27's riding him tight, not riding the 99 very low. 27's riding up really high.
Well, I know I would be given a lot of room to that 27 car just based off of his nickname, right?
Absolutely. And it's 2 for 1 special for Dustin Ping, new race leader out front. What a move out of the 81 there. What a move.
That was a good move. He saw it. He had the momentum on the top side. He used it.
Didn't flinch at it either, just kept going.
No.
It didn't work the first corner or the second corner, but he just kept at it.
Well, look, don't look now. Back inside the top 5, 51, Cody Heinzman.
The catch up, man.
3 wide behind
3
him.
wide behind him, yeah, for Austin Edstrom, Eric Blount, and Dylan Banks. I don't believe Heinzman and Banks have had to race this hard all season since they've joined us here at BPL. They were having to really race, get after it here. These guys around them, they're not rolling over for them.
They start to single file out, starting to calm down, but just a little bit. But you said it, Tanner. RT76, Jamie Walker going head-to-head in the bracket, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Thompson just passed him. He's up in the 8th right now, up 13 spots on the evening.
If the race was to end right this second, well, Rick Thompson, RT76, he's going to the championship.
For the bracket.
For the bracket, absolutely.
Yeah, we got to make that clear, right?
Yeah.
Although we've seen Rick Thompson run for a championship here before. 3 wide once again behind Chris Carroll. Edge from up top, Blount in the middle. Banks was on the bottom there. He backed out of it.
Looking just back up front to check the lead here for Dustin Ping. Got about a 3/10 gap lead over Cody Heinzman, the catch-up man in second. Hunter Lagoons putting together a pretty solid night for the 27. He started 3rd. Well, he's running 3rd. And he's looking to do one better, looking to the inside of the catch-up man. That just feels wrong calling him, man, that, don't it? The catch-up man. Just saying it over and over. But that's what he is.
Yeah, especially when he's not from Pittsburgh.
Right. Sam's jealous, guys, because he should be called the catch-up man.
I did the catch-up car first.
Told you he was jealous. I told y'all. He told on himself. I wasn't going to say. I wasn't going to tell why.
I'll call it. I don't care. I did the catch-up car first, and everybody laughed at me. Heinzman comes in and does it, and everybody called him the catch-up man. I don't want to hear it. How about that?
The catch-up man is having a little bit of problems right now, and it's the junker right there behind him, but now gets a little bit of a gap. Eric Blount, a name that is usually fairly quiet early in these races. He comes on later, but right now we're 50 laps in already, and he is starting to move forward. I think he has a little damage on the left side of that Camry, right behind the wheel well. I've never seen that damage before.
What's the end of stage 2?
That's a great question, Sam. Let's go look. Pull up our stage breaks.
I'm not here every week. I don't remember
I don't either. Lap number 62.
So they only got 12 more laps before we were, 64.
Mark just sent me a picture of his cruise. As the 16 and the 87 contact. As for those that are not aware, Mark, he's out on a cruise right now. While he's not racing with us.
Wait, Mark's on a cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mark, how you doing? No, how's he gonna go on a cruise and not show up to a race? I'm disappointed in you, Mark.
Right. He had to go send me
the-
a picture when I'm sitting here trying to broadcast his series. Now I'm jealous.
Where's the loyalty?
Right. I'm gonna bring up the picture too that he sent me. I'm trying to right now. I sent it to you so I can have it. We're going to see.
How does he have service out there?
That's what I was actually wondering myself.
Oh, yeah, they got Wi-Fi on the ships. I forgot. Doesn't matter. Back to the race.
Yep.
Worried about Mark being on a cruise. Who cares?
Cool picture, though. If I can get it on screen all the way.
No, it's not.
It is. Pretty.
Dustin Penn continues to lead the way right now.
That's Mark's picture he sent me. All right. Dustin Ping, the man front and center. I'm jealous, though, because he's out on the cruise ship, and Ping's out front, but for how much longer? Up 17 spots, but has Cody Heinzman charging hard here on the inside of him. Giggity.
You did not just say giggity.
But the 51 not able to make the pass. You couldn't just let it ride. You had to mention it, did you? Look at the 10.
Look.
Poor TBB.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin, the leader of the modified division here tonight. Back here in 22nd. Trying to get everything you can out of that modified number 10, you know, doing a good job out there.
You said it so realistically. Like you didn't miss a beat there.
It ain't the first time I've used that term.
That one broke. I've heard. I mean, we've all said it before.
Shout out to Bottom Split. It originally came from there. I give him credit where it's due. But the good battles going on up here
Everywhere.
right now.
Everywhere.
I mean, I know you're trying to watch up front. I'm trying to watch near the middle. But you got Eric Blount in this number 16, man. He's making a really big charge up towards the front. He's up 8 spots since the start of this race. Now to the outside of Heinzman. But don't look now. Here comes RT76. He gave the 51 a shot going into 3 and 4, and he's got really good drive to the center of the corner right now.
Remember, folks, we were just talking about RT76 being 1 spot ahead of Jamie Walker. Well, that was when he was in 11th, because Jamie's now in 12th. Walker or Thompson's all the way up to P8 and still looking to go forward. As the Lovebirds, they're back beside each other. Contact when this happened earlier. Look, Dylan's going to give him plenty of room now.
Is that what's going to happen, or is Heinzman going to come up and say, oh, man, sorry, that was netcode?
Oh, I don't think Heinzman's mean like us. He's too nice of a guy, I think. As there is, we have battles going on everywhere right now.
Literally everywhere, yeah. I would like to point out that Ty Morosco is out on track. The car looks pretty clean right now. I don't know how much it hurt him, but sitting there running in 14th. Teammate Dalton Kilroy right in front of him. So Kilroy trying to work his way back up through the field. As Lagunas is actually a new race leader. He got around Ping. Edstrom trying to make a move around Ping. I think Ping burned up his stuff right here, Tanner.
He was the fastest car on the track for a while. We've seen Edstrom do it earlier. You can do it. You can get up there. You can battle for the race lead. You can even get the race lead, but you're going to pay a price. Look at Edstrom. Carroll, a little bit of shot there. Got the 87 a little upset. The car it was. And now look, 87 is washing up the hill. 99 just able to turn down, able to hold that car down to the bottom, commit to the bottom, and stay there. And he's got the pass. That's how you do it. Textbook right there, ladies and gentlemen. 99, he's looking to try to take over the race lead from his teammate Hunter Lagoons.
What did I tell you at the beginning of the race there, Tanner? Chris Carroll started near the back. He's up 15 spots since the start of this race. Figured it out.
He'll figure it out. He will figure it out. He's smart. That's one thing. I mean, a lot of people don't realize when you're that fast, you got to be smart. You got to put your car in the right spot. You got to play your cards right. And he's really good at playing his cards right.
Edstrom's trying to fight back, though. Good run there on the bottom. Battle for second once again. Here comes Banks again as well.
And, oh, it's going to get tight there. Edstrom. Just
3 wide.
Ooh.
Is it going to be 4?
4 wide.
Thought about it.
And I don't know if you know, but these two are not real friendly between Rick Thompson and 87. I don't think the 87 has a problem with Rick. I don't think Rick, but I do know Rick, and is not a fan. I'll say that. We'll see how they race around each other. Probably like RT76 here. He gives the storylines.
Battle for the race lead. Carroll going to the high side.
He's going to make it stick. Lagoons could not fight back, really. Maybe Lagoons kind of gave it up right there to fall in P2 right there behind Chris Carroll instead of losing a few more spots. But he's staying right there with the 99. The draft here, you can really pull, like you can toe up to a guy really quick here. The draft is really, really strong. We got 3 wide. Rick Thompson, Edstrom, and Heinzman. Heinzman backed out of it, allowed him to go in the 1 and 2, only 2 wide. Banks still trying to make the pass on Ping. Not able to complete it. Hyman gets back in front of Edstrom. This battle right here is still for P3. Ping and Banks door to door. RT76 right there behind him, just wanting one of them to get the pass so he can follow suit.
Sorry, Tanner was checking a message there. Was a little bit important. I apologize. Ping trying to fight back there. He's hanging on to third, but I mean, I'll tell you what. RT76 right now, top 5, up 17 spots on the evening. Doing a really good job here tonight. So he did mention on Race Chat earlier, he really doesn't mind this car.
He likes it, actually. He likes it. Look at the battle back here with the Lone Dutchman and Eric Blount. Side by side, got John Perkins at 33 right there in front of him. The Ironman Award, as Chris Fagoo called it, for the 33 of John Perkins. And Edstrom. Something happened to Edstrom here. As caution's out.
Caution on the speedway.
And it's
not, that was staged.
Oh, that was staged. Oh, wow.
we were so engrossed in the racing,
right.
You know, we weren't paying attention to the laps. See, we don't have all that fancy dancy equipment that the real NASCAR broadcasters have. You know, we kind of got to wing a lot of it. So,
right.
But hey, give it to Chris Carroll. Good points, though, for a lot of these drivers, man, especially for Rick Thompson. Coming in 4th here in that stage.
That's a good night. That's a good start to his night. He needs points. He's right there amongst the playoff bubble. Looking at the bubble, let's pull up the points real quick, Sam. I know you can't see them, so let's look at this.
I've broadcast up.
Oh, okay. Well, you got Jason Bauer right now. He is the gatekeeper. He is 16th with 532 points. Now, please note, in 15th, you see there 2 points or 27 points ahead of Bauer in 15th. It's Mark Arthur. Well, newsflash, no Mark Arthur out here tonight.
Well, I will say this. I want to give a shout out to Jason Bauer because he's a driver that he comes in every week. You don't really hear too much from him. He's hanging on to 16th. He could get himself a playoff spot just for basically showing up.
Yeah, don't cause any issues ever. Never causes any issues.
Yeah, big shout out to Jason Bauer.
Absolutely. And then you got Amanda Sherman, Larry Bell. They are all within striking distance. Massengill is as well. With Mark not being here tonight, he's going to drop. So naturally, those guys are going to go up. Then you got drivers right above the cutoff line. Rick Thompson, we mentioned him, got some cutoff points. Chris Berg, he had his computer crashed at the start of the race. I forgot to mention that. He sent me a message. His computer crashed. So Chris Berg not even in a session right now. So he's going to drop some. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The points are going to be really shook up tonight. Tune in for After the Flag, and we'll talk about it. Keep plugged. But we'll see. We'll know the points on After the Flag. We'll go live about 5 minutes, roughly, after the race here is concluded. And the race right now is the race for the battle to lead off pit road. King gets out in front of Banks for P2. Chris Carroll's going to lead the charge, though.
And P2 was really close
P2
right
is
there.
Really close. Really close.
Oh, looks like everybody took 4 tires on that one, Tanner, except I think Chad Wilson might have taken 2. He had an 11.87 second stop back there in 17th. Yeah, he's the only one I'm seeing.
Unfortunate side of that for the 21 machine. Yes, he took 2 tires, but normally you do that to gain positions, right? He wasn't able to really gain position. He's still 17, so
still a lot of racing to be done, though. I mean, he trying to figure something out, maybe. You know, I don't know. Got a different plan here, I guess.
The way the races are set up now, stage 1, stage 2, and Blazing Pedals, they are quicker stages. They're just shorter. Look, Chad Wilson going back down pit road here, so I'm not sure. Maybe messed up a while ago.
possible. Miscommunication between crew chief and driver there on how many tires they wanted to take.
Absolutely. And then the modified division leader, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, coming down pit road as well.
Hey, he's sticking with it, and he's leading that modified division. Gonna be a good points night for that modified division.
That popped me big time, bro. The way you said it, you didn't even say it like it was a joke. You just said it and kept calling the race.
Most of the people watching, when they go back and watch it, especially Taylor, will get the reference. Especially Ty Morosco, considering he was in a bottom split broadcasted race once. That was really funny.
Wow.
Never forget, Ty. Anyway,
I think Ty has a lot of memorable stories about him on here, huh? About
yeah,
BPO.
not winning.
Hot dogs or something.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't that was on the old show that Corey used to do.
Shop talk.
Shop talk, yeah. Well, Ty's got one win. Give him that. Two, technically, if you count the clash from 2 years ago.
Chris Carroll, Justin Ping, row number 1. Row number 2 is going to be Cody Heinzman, or Dylan Banks on the inside, Cody Heinzman on the outside. In 5th place, we have Hunter Lagoons, the junker, with RT76, Rick Thompson, starting to his outside in 6th.
I tell you what, every time I broadcast with you guys from now on, I'm going to take a shot every time I hear the word netcode.
All right, that was netcode. Man, did you see that netcode sound?
I ain't starting it now.
Oh. Well, if you would, I'd say netcode a lot. Like that netcode we saw earlier.
I guess I could.
That netcode we saw earlier, that was a lot of netcode.
I'd be like 5, man. You try to kill me.
He's going to call me tomorrow. Man, I got alcohol poisoning. I was like, man, don't have netcode on the way to the hospital.
I think I'd be calling 911 before that, bro.
Well,
I don't think I could.
Maybe the call would drop. You may have netcode on the phone call, you know?
Okay, never mind. That idea's out the window. Back to green flag racing. Chris Carroll leading the way. Good jump there on it. I tell you what, that inside lane, I mean, we know the leader has the advantage, right? He can go anywhere in that restart zone,
caution.
but we got caution already?
It's telling me caution.
It's not telling me caution.
Oh, sticker was messed up. Too low.
There you go. But what I was saying, Tanner, is that inside lane fires off really, really well.
Right. And we saw what Dylan Banks and Lagoons, they were also behind Carroll. Look at the shot the 48's going to have here. Huge shove to the 99. They were all teammates, all in the same Discord, so probably a countdown for the top 3 inside lane. What a shot from 48 there. Huge.
Here comes Ping once again, though, on that high side. He's got Heinzman right behind him. We're going to put it 3 wide here for second. Almost. Heinzman thinks better of it. I tell you what, for Chicagoland, it's actually putting on some solid racing.
It is. It really is.
I mean, this car sucks, but, you know, it's putting on some good racing.
They're still side by side. Justin Ping.
Oh, here comes Blount. Look at that. Back up in the top 5, and last time by, fastest lap of the race, 30.67 for the number 16. He's having a real up and down night.
It is. It is. That's what I was thinking right there. It's kind of fluctuating for him, going back and forth. Look at Justin Ping opening up the race lead over Chris Carroll. Now, he did this once before. That's what I was going to say.
Hey, he's got to watch.
But the same can be said for Blount here. Blount, I think he's fallen and playing right into the cards of the 99 and 51 here. Oh, 51, big bobble right there. Little mistake out of Cody Heinzman. Clipped the apron there, Sam.
Yeah, he clipped the apron right where those bumps are, too. So that was actually a really good save. Again, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't look like much from where we're watching from, but that was a good save by the 51.
As Blount takes over P2, but absolutely was a great save.
That could have been detrimental.
It could have, and really, no, he didn't lose a whole lot of momentum there. Didn't lose a whole lot of momentum. Didn't lose any track position. Great save. Still trying to battle with Chris Carroll. Was trying to show the nose on the 99, but was not able to get there. But look here. Remember the BPL head-to-head bracket challenge? Jamie Walker, Rick Thompson. They're going head-to-head. Whichever driver finishes better out of those two advances to the championship round, which is in 2 weeks.
And don't count out that 76. I mean, he's been having a really good night tonight. He's passed Jamie once before. I guarantee he can do it again, no problem.
RT76 has not done all the races this year, but he's still right there, and I believe 14th in the playoff standings. That says a lot. I truly think if I was to go back and look at the stats, I'm a number guy, right? I would almost venture a guess this season is RT76 best season to date, stats-wise, because he's getting good finishes when he is here. He's only finished outside the top 10, I believe, twice in all the races he's done. That's pretty consistent.
Still side by side with Walker. You know, what I'm really surprised to see is that high line really doesn't carry as much momentum as I thought it would.
It keeps you there, basically, huh? It don't really propel you forward. It does a little bit, but slowly. It's slow moving. Like Jamie, I almost feel like he's on offense in corner entry, but right here on the exit, you can just see the 76. He's able to keep the 88 down. Almost contact between them, actually.
I do want to point out real quick, Tanner, you can keep the camera on there, but we do have a new race leader, Eric Blount, number 16, out in front right now.
Getting some laps led for the Viagra Mobile. He needs it. He needs his camera time. Yeah,
he's had an up and down night. Now he's all the way up to first. So.
He's at the ultimate high now, huh? The ultimate high.
He actually passed Ping on the outside, too, if I'm not mistaken. He's kind of running a really interesting line, too. He goes into one, like, mid, lets it float up, and then cuts it back down. So maybe the 16's got something figured out here.
You know, something we haven't really spoke about, but you can see it on screen. The lights are on now. We've done got into nighttime. So this track, it was changing a lot earlier. And now it's even still changing more. It's getting more rubber on it. It's going to tighten up. The air is going to get cooler, right? So naturally the track's going to get cooler. This track's going to get a little bit tighter as the night goes on, but the speeds, they're going to pick up.
Which doesn't really play into the driver's favor. I mean, we were talking to a couple, and they were complaining of a tight race car.
Absolutely.
So with the track temperatures cooling and the lights coming on, I mean, you had a tight race car before. Now it's just going to be even worse, especially when you're back here in this gaggle that we got with Heinzman leading. Everybody's just going to be plowing tight with that dirty air.
I feel like I say it once or twice a week. Everybody's trying to get in where they fit in right there. They're trying to go forward. But, man, oh, man, you called it. That's just what'd you call it? A gaggle?
Gaggle.
A gaggle of cars? It is. It's a gaggle indeed. I gaggled saying it almost. Hunter Lagoons. John Perkins, they were really close side drafting. Perkins didn't want to. He was basically side drafting the wall, but Lagoons was not giving a whole lot of room there down the backstretch, trying to get everything he can. Go back here with Chris Carroll and Cody Heinzman. Remember, this battle typically for the lead. It is not now. It's Dustin Pink, Eric Blount. They have checked out over a 2-second lead over the 99 and the 51. Same tire strategies, but these guys right here, they're saving but racing. These other two, they have just checked out. Dustin Pink holding down P2 with Eric Blount in the 16. Up 13 spots to be the race leader.
Well, what's funny is just as quick as we said that was a gaggle, they've all single filed out now. So there's really not much going on back here except Chris Carroll looking to the inside of Heinzman. And as you said, Blount and Ping, they're pretty much checked out right now. But Ping has been slowly catching that.
He's catching him now. I think we're getting ready to have a battle for the race lead because it looks like Ping is a little bit faster than the 16 here.
I'm just wondering if maybe the 16 of Eric Blount, I'm wondering if maybe he burned his stuff up a little too early. But, I mean, again, is Chris Carroll going to run these guys down? Carroll's about 2.5 seconds off of the race leader's back bumper right now.
Hey, I want to flash back to Friday night. In the final stage, Adam Thompson, how far back was he? I can't even remember.
Like 3.5, 4 seconds.
Right. It was something that I didn't think was possible. I didn't think he could drive Dylan Banks down, and he did it. So I think Carroll, he might be trying to take the front top two, what we call it Friday, take him to school. But we'll see. I don't know. I feel like on iRacing, it's so hard to drive people down, especially at a big track like this. But I thought that at Richmond, too, with it being a short track, it'd be hard to drive them down. And it was
Big
possible.
track like this, and you know, dirty air and the car itself. I mean, there's a lot of varying factors to it.
That's true. That's true.
Fix that up. It was open setup on Friday night. So
Hello.
again, we said it on Friday that Thompson had the long run car, and he proved it. So
I've been on a 20 of Mike Massey. I just took it down pit road. I don't know if that's a scheduled stop or unscheduled. I'm not sure when they're really due in. For fuel, Sam, it would be what, about lap 120 or so, around that mark?
well,
Roughly?
they last pit on lap 66. So yeah, you're looking between probably lap 118 to lap 125. We're going to be seeing green flag pit stops.
Right. So somewhere around there. So it's a little bit early for Massengill, unless he's just trying different strategy. But battle for the race lead down the backstretch. They go off into 3 and 4. Ping has the momentum. He has the spot. He has the advantage on the low side. Can he get clear of the 16 here? 16's going to battle back, but Ping's going to slide it up.
Slam the
Crossover
door on
move.
Slide job out of the 81. I love seeing a slide job.
Absolutely, on asphalt nonetheless, too. That's crazy. On dirt, it looks dumb, don't it? But on asphalt, it just looks right.
Oh, well, let's, you know.
I'm just trying to get you wound up here, folks. I'm not really that dumb. I'm just trying to get Sam going.
Everybody knows Sam likes dirt, and everybody likes to make fun of Sam for liking dirt.
I don't make fun. I was just poking right then. I didn't make fun.
Whatever.
I didn't say what Mark would say. I'm more politically correct. Oh, they're leaning to each other.
How did Ping not get the wall?
Get the wall right then? That's what I was wondering. And how the hell did he get the race lead after all that?
Slam the door on his 16 again.
With the camera,
Oh
before the camera switched, they were side by side, almost hitting the wall. The camera switched, and somehow Ping was closing the door right on his nose. That's just close hard racing.
that was nuts.
Now, while all this is going on, though, I want you to look at something out the windshield.
Yeah,
Those
Carroll's
cars-
getting a whole second on him.
Those cars are getting bigger out the front windshield of the 99. That means he's catching them. That's exactly what he wants to see. He wants to see them two over battling.
Well, he's close enough, too, that he's going to be able to catch a little bit of draft on the straightaways here, too. About another 0.3 of a second, Carroll will start to pick up that draft from these two guys.
All it took was those top two to battle just for a lap and a half. They've single filed it back out. Ping has an advantage now of almost 0.2. You're looking at about Carling. Carling's in a half gap between him and the race leader. But now the other gap we were monitoring, it's shrinking. But I do notice in that camera, you don't see Dylan Banks. So Carroll's actually separating himself from Dylan Banks as well. It may not be go time for the 48, 76, 51. They may still be just holding back a little bit, saving a little bit of tire.
Again, shout out Rick Thompson being up here in this mix.
Every week, dude. I'm telling you, he's been really good.
I'm not around every week, Tanner.
I'm not. When I say I'm telling you, I'm not really telling you. I'm telling, like, he's had just a great season.
Oh, he's proving it here. Running 5th, up 16 spots. Only person who has him beat right now is Dustin Ping, who's up 17.
Pretty crazy for both of them. It's a really good night.
Come up through the field like that and be leading the race. Yeah, absolutely.
As Jamie Walker trying to make a move over Dalton Kilroe. This is the battle for 7th here.
Ooh. Heinzman had a little bit of a bobble going into the corner right there. Probably just not sure where he was going to go. I know he's trying to probably run the opposite line that the guys in front of him are, but I just don't think he read it right and was going to go to the bottom, then slid back up top.
As we go back up to the second place guy to try to monitor the lead. Chris Carroll, he was in the picture. He's got it down to half a second for the second place guy.
So he's got the draft.
He absolutely has the draft, and it's under a second now for the race leader for Chris Carroll. And there you see it, eye test. They're definitely closer, huh? He's sniffing them.
They're getting bigger.
They're definitely getting bigger. I'm half blind, but I can tell you they were definitely getting bigger.
Man, Heinzman literally used all the apron that time on the front straightaway. I think he clipped the grass right there. trying to do everything he can, trying to get back past Rick Thompson. Thompson's losing a little bit of ground here to the 48, though. 48's starting to catch the 99 once again.
These guys got to start really thinking about the strategy call of it, right? When you're going to come in for those tires and fuel. We know they're doing for fuel, right? What are you going to do with the tire call? I think it's got to be a 4-tire call, right?
Looking at lap times right now, I mean, Carroll's the fastest out of the top 3. Rick Thompson's actually right there with him, along with Cody Heinzman. They're all running 4s, whereas Dylan Banks ran a 6, Ping ran a 6, and Eric Blount ran a 6 last time by. So Chris Carroll's definitely going to catch him here very shortly, if not in the next lap or 2.
He's here with Blount. Blount's washing up high. Might get the wall. Oh, my goodness.
You see Carroll saw that, and he moved down just in case. That was a smart move.
It hurt his momentum a little bit, I believe. It did hurt his momentum, but going to be able to make the packs now. Now he's at the P2. Sees the race leader right out of his windshield. He's in the same corner. I think, like you called it, it's just a matter of time now for Dustin Ping. How long can Ping hold him off with the dirty air?
So last time by, it looks like Banks, Thompson, and Heinzman were the fastest 3 cars out of the top 6. They're also not really racing anybody either. As I say that, Banks goes down to the bottom side of the racetrack. I wish I see more slide jobs out of these guys, you know what I'm saying? That's how I would pass here. You keep the car straighter too, you won't wear as much tire. Fun fact.
Right. Even on dirt and asphalt.
Mm-hmm. See Thompson looking to the inside of that number 16. So, I mean, we kind of called it earlier, right? Like Dustin Ping and Blount, they were battling pretty hard. I think Blount just kind of wrecked his tires there on this run.
I think so as well, but I'm interested to see how Carroll's been about 3/10 off Ping since he's got there, but he's not really went any further. He can't
It's only
really...
about a 10th quicker right now per lap.
So Ping is still holding on by a thread, nonetheless. And Eric is not really holding on much. He's still up 6 though, so it's still gonna be a net positive.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, I'm sure we've all done it at some point in time or another. You run super hard, and then you start getting passed by cars, so you try running harder because that's what you think you need to do. And
you see my season last year? That's all I did. That's all I did was burn myself. I don't know how not to though. I don't know how y'all do it. You're one of them. You're really good in the long run. I don't know how y'all do it.
Well, with the stage racing, it can give you kind of a way to gauge it, right? Like if you didn't get a whole lot of practice,
right?
You go out there, you run the car as hard as you can for that first stage. Once you figure out, oh, I'm starting to get tight, I have to lift a lot earlier. Well, the next time when you get fresh tires, lift at that point.
Right.
That's how you start saving tires.
As Ping goes down low here to try to block the run, but that's going to allow Carroll to be, I think, exactly where you want to be on the outside lane. Look at him charge forward. Just able to drive in a little bit deeper. Able to pick the throttle up a little bit quicker.
He pinched him down, too.
He did. But look at that. It allowed the 48 to be in the mix now as well. 76 is going to come with it.
Oh, he thought about it. 48 thought about making a move right there. Thompson's got a good run. He's going to get to the outside of the 81. That's something I've noticed. A lot of passes tonight have been done on the outside. See Heinzman back in the picture once again. He's going to pass the 81 on the outside.
It looks like just when they're by themselves, the low line's faster. But if you're ever racing somebody, you got to be on that high side.
See Thompson, he's running about a lane up from the 48, trying to keep some clean air on the nose of that race car. Don't look now. Mr. EOL himself, he's back up in here too.
Already back up to 6. And I believe it's going to be 5th in pretty quick order. Although Ping, he looks like he's holding pace fairly well. When he gets single filed out, he holds pace really good.
But he kind of dropped like a sack of rocks right there.
Blount down pit road.
I think that's too early, but he might have chewed up them tires bad enough that he's just had enough of it.
He can make it on fuel. He's in the fuel window.
He's in the fuel window, but he's going to have
I know. Yeah, I'm just
you
trying
have
to sell
less
it.
tires later.
Right.
I know what you're trying to do. Ain't gonna work, but
Like, we value everybody's opinion, even if it's wrong.
right?
But it's not gonna work.
It's definitely not gonna work. It's Chris Carroll leading right now. Last time by, Dylan Banks was actually a little bit quicker than that number 99. So did Carroll maybe burn up his stuff trying to get around those two other drivers? As we saw Banks when he got around the 60 and the 81, he kind of did it with a little bit more ease than the 99 did.
Absolutely.
But I mean, Carroll has the advantage right now being out in clean air. And if you watch Tanner, the 48, he's not really trying to move around a whole lot. He's kind of just staying pinned to what line Carroll's running.
And while that's going on, I believe RT76 might be starting to struggle a little bit. Either that or Cody Heinzman's just upping the intensity, which he very well could be.
They ran last time by. They ran pretty identical lap times. Heinzman with an 81 and Thompson with an 83.
Yeah, that 83 for Thompson, I think has a little bit
Heinzman
of
in the
help.
wall.
That's going to allow RT76 to breathe a little bit.
And how much damage did that do to the 51 aerodynamically? I mean, you need aerodynamics here to track like this.
Absolutely.
I know these cars are tough, but they're not that tough. It's like the Xfinity car. You hit the wall, it's like paper mache. You're done for.
Yep. This car is tough, but there's random times when it's not. It's very, very weird. Very strange. You never really know. One wall hit, you're good. The next wall hit, you're meatballed. I said RT76 might be struggling. I don't think he is. I think he's pretty content where he's at.
I wouldn't say he's struggling, but I mean, he's definitely giving it all he's got right now, just because of how hard it is to pass in these cars, right? I mean, it's easy to pass a guy who kind of burned his stuff up, but he's up here with these heavy hitters now. Chris Carroll, Dylan Banks, Heinzman. You got Kilrow up in the mix as well. So he's either just kind of riding until the pit stop. Maybe he's going to try and get him on a pit stop, see what the leaders are going to do. Because he could have a faster car right now. Could just kind of be toying with him, right?
88 of Jamie Walker. He's going down pit road. That's Rick Thompson's matchup in the head-to-head bracket challenge. So 88's taking it down.
Well, Walker was running, I believe, around 12th or 13th position when he brought it down pit road. So
that's not going to break the ice yet. You're going to need somebody in the top 5, I believe. Top 5, top 6. I believe that will start to be monkey see, monkey do. Look at Banks that time. All the way down the apron, trying to cut that track as much as he can. It's Jamie Walker's coming off pit road now.
And it's crazy, too, because Banks was almost a full 10th quicker than Carroll last time by, but he just can't get to the back bumper of that 99. Heinzman making a move on Thompson here for third. Side by side, he's going to get a little tight here. Push up. Ooh, that's tight.
That's really tight. Don't forget, I know I mentioned a few times the other bracket challenge. It's Heinzman and Kilrow. Heinzman's in 4th right now. He's battling for P3. Dalton Kilrow, after an earlier incident, electrical issues, almost killed his teammate. Or I kind of did, but Ty's still battling. He's running in 6th, so Dalton's battled back. He sees his matchup in front of him, trying to make a pass on the RT76. That's 51. It's going to be the first one down inside the top 5.
I don't like that call. I don't know if I like that call. He was kind of struggling right there, Tanner, near the end of that run. He's going to have the worst set of tires out of everybody in the lead right now. I mean, I'm sure he could prove me wrong, but I personally, I just think that was too early.
I'm torn.
Dylan Banks just came over the radio, pitting.
He's going to... So Heinzman forced their hand, wanting to short pit a little bit, probably wanted them to stay out. As Carroll's going to bring it down. They got to be careful not to speed here. Banks is in hot. Banks is sideways, messing up. Another mistake out of the 48 here tonight. Needs all the points he can get. And that's the second mistake we've seen him make in what's been a mistake-free season for him up to this point.
I'm watching the 76 right now. He just called out he's pitting. It's the 76 coming this time.
So what's that going to allow the 81 to do? Is he coming down or is he going to stay out on the track?
He's going to stay out.
He's going to stay out.
Stays out.
Kilrow. D stays out. Blount stays out.
Thompson needs a really smooth pit stop right here because he'll be able to jump Banks and get second at the very least. I don't think he's going to be able to get Carroll. Carroll had a pretty good pit stop, but Thompson, if he can just be smooth in and out, he's going to definitely gain one position here. A lot of drivers are called out their pit stops right now, Tanner. Everybody's starting to come down pit road. Ping stays out. Kilroy stays out one more time.
Looks like the 3 car, Corey Sherman's taking it down track side. He's the only car right now. Got some drivers maybe coming down next time. Fred
So
Thompson's
right now,
down.
the top 7 have not pit yet. Payne,
Jason-
Kilroy, Morosco, Dees, Edstrom, Van Vliet, and Bauer all have yet to pit. They stay out one more time.
I don't like this staying out. I know they want that caution, right? That's what they want. But I don't. They're losing a lot of time here, Sam. Right?
It's
I mean,
either,
what's the time
it's either
for
they
like?
want that caution or their plan, and if I'm thinking Kilroy right now, their plan is, well, I'm going to have the better tires on the long run. There's still 50 laps to go.
There's a lot of
49
laps
to
left.
go. So Heinzman came down first. Remember, I said I don't know if I like that. That was really early, right? But you're correct. Every lap that they stay out on the track, they are just losing time, and it's going to be harder for them to catch them later on in the run.
Last time around the track, Heinzman was almost a full second faster than our race leader Dustin Ping. He did a 31.00 compared to Ping's 32.01 or something. It was like right there at a full second.
Also, remember that Blount, he pit before everybody else. He pit on lap 101, so he's probably going to be our race leader once this cycle's through. Chris Carroll and Heinzman, those will be your second and third car. Rick Thompson back in 12th. Right now, he's right behind Jamie Walker. Now, Walker pit on lap 106. So there's about 5 laps different there between Thompson and Walker. A lot of info coming at you real quick, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all stuff you got to keep in mind with these green flag pit stops. Anything can happen. Is Ping and Kilroy still staying out on the track? And like Tanner just said, about a full second slower than everybody else. They have to come soon. They can't keep this up.
They can't afford to keep losing laps, even if they are going to have the fresher tires. They're
The
just
biggest thing is, I'm sorry, Tanner, but Chris Carroll's actually catching them right now. And you don't want them to get around you before you pit.
trouble
That's the
for
biggest
D's, I
thing.
believe. What did D's do here? Oh, D's mistake for D's. That's going to be a penalty, I think, Sam.
Yep, commitment cone.
No way. So D's elected to stay out, hoping maybe for a caution, hoping maybe just have a little bit fresher tires at the end, and that's going to derail everything. But
Okay,
yeah,
see,
Chris-
Carroll just passed Kilroy, right?
he's getting ready to unlap himself right here.
If I'm Dalton right now, I'm
Gotta
pitting
pit.
this time.
You gotta pit
You
now.
have to pit.
He's not even a choice in the matter now.
Same with Ping. I mean, Carroll just got his light. Yeah, you got to pit now. There's no question. You're still going to have about, 10 or so laps better tires than Carroll, but I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make.
Not much of one, I don't believe. But we'll see.
Stay
Carroll's
out.
pushing hard. I don't get it.
They got something going on that we don't right now.
I think they're just still hoping for the
We don't
caution.
know.
I think they're still just hoping for a caution. I really do.
Well, we know it can happen on
It
these
can.
race like
They're,
pit stops.
they're
so
very, 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 very hard. We've already seen Banks mess up. We've seen D's mess up. It's very easy to mess one up. As it looks like Kilroy, did he say he's coming? He looked like he was committing down low. Maybe not.
No, nothing on the radio.
It looked like he was going to commit down low. Nope. Stays
Man.
up. I can't believe Kilroy's one of them staying out like this.
Yeah, especially like I said, I mean, you just had pretty much half the other guys unlap themselves. This would be the time to just come in. You're losing all that time on the racetrack.
Well, look, Chris Carroll just passed him like 3 laps ago. Carroll is about a half a straightaway ahead of him now. I mean, that's just the time difference here, you're seeing.
I think the only thing I can think, Tanner, is like you said, they're hoping for a quick caution, or they're thinking we're going to have the freshest tires out of everybody once they pit. I think Kilroy actually just got the wall just a hair there coming off turn 4 as well. Crazy.
Whoa, Rick Thompson. He jumped to the outside of the 41 and got a little loose there. If the caution was to fall, as it is right now, they're going to restart about 10th or so, right? I mean, there's only 10 cars on the lead lap right now.
Somewhere around there. I mean, Thompson's got to unlap himself.
Some we get the wave around, though.
Surprised he lost that much time to Heinzman and Carroll. I'm actually surprised that Heinzman didn't jump Carroll for how early he pit.
And
that's actually very surprising.
Rick Thompson actually had pretty good time on pit road. He was only on pit road for 41 seconds. We saw Banks have an issue. He was on pit road for 43 seconds. Now, Chris Carroll, he was on pit road for only 40 seconds. That's pretty quick. Jamie Walker, 39 seconds. So that's pretty quick to get in and off pit road. Everybody else is in the 42 to 44 second bracket.
Ping down pit road. Kilroy stays out.
Morosco's also going down.
So Edstrom still has yet to pit, and Van Vliet has yet to pit, along with Kilroy. Those are the only three who have not come down pit road.
And Jason Bauer. Jason Bauer's not went down pit road either.
That is correct.
I just saw that.
Well, they're going to have...
So as it is right now, Eric Blount is leading the guys with tires, but Carroll is tracking him down somewhat, right?
Yes. He's catching him actually pretty quickly here. It looks like he's about 2 seconds off of him right now, less than 2 seconds.
Right.
But Carroll's running 31.02s compared to Blount's 31.80s.
Right, so he's catching pretty quick. So whenever everybody pits, Kilroy looks like he's coming up, or he's blinking again. More internet issues for the 41. That's not what you want to see after already causing an incident.
He kind of evened out already. He's screaming at his parents, get off Netflix.
I was going to make a joke there, but I know. I guess I won't. I was going to.
He just blinked out again, and his car looked like he was leading a modified class, and it blew smoke all over the track and everything. That was wild.
So the final four, they have not pit. Bauer in the 9 car, the 89 of Philip Van Fleet, the Lone Dutchman, the 87, the Love Mobile of Edstrom, and then Kilroy. Captain saved some fuel.
And 38 laps to go, now 37. I can't believe he's staying out this long.
I'm just wondering how much more fuel they got.
Well, remember, I mean, I said probably between lap 118 to like 123, somewhere around there, we would start to see them.
Right.
So, I mean, with Kilroy, he could have been saving fuel from the get-go. I don't see him making it. There's no way.
No chance. He may just be wanting to do a little splash and go. 2-tire stop here, though.
I mean, that would definitely help him.
35 laps, so that's more than a splash. That's more than a splash of fuel. That's almost half a tank, right? Because they can only do about 60 laps.
But if he can run the tank out, he might only need to take about a half a tank.
Right, yeah.
And about 2 rights. If he's only taking 2 right side tires, it would even out, and he would have a really fast pit stop.
It would be. You're looking at about 9 seconds, probably 8 seconds.
Yeah, I'd say about 9 to 11 seconds, somewhere around there, compared to everybody else.
Here he comes. 41's coming down pit road, going straight into the race lead. Edstrom, I saw the Love Mobile. It stayed up. It's going around again. Van Vliet's going around the track again.
I'll keep an eye on Kilroy.
Yeah, let me know. So the race lead has been surrendered over to MFRD driver, the Ford Mustang of Austin Edstrom here tonight. Van Vliet, the Lone Dutchman, MP2, but he's got just a handful of fresh tires right here around him. Ping, Morosco, trying to get around Van Vliet.
Right side's up on Kilroy.
Edstrom's not able to even get down. Edstrom can't get down there. He has to go around again. So if he wanted to pit, he couldn't. So Edstrom goes around again. Van Vliet goes around again.
4 tires and fuel for the 41.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I can't doubt him. 41.3 second stop total on pit road. So 41 seconds total.
Comes out 19th. I think he was gambling for a caution. I don't think he can make up this difference, Sam. Maybe he can. Maybe.
Well, I mean, he pit on
lap
127.
Right.
Whereas everybody, I mean, he's got 20 lap fresher tires almost than a lot of these guys. So I don't see it happening. I mean, I see what he was maybe trying to do. Wait for the caution. I understand that much, but once he saw the caution wasn't coming, he should have probably came down pit road. That's just my call, though. Anything can still happen, though. I mean, if we get a caution, Kilroy's right back in this with the freshest tires out of the bunch.
As long as he gets on the lead lap, right? I think right now he scored. He isn't a lucky dog with it. He's the first car a lap down, so that he has that going for him.
I don't see why he couldn't get his lap back. I guess it really all depends on where Carroll was at the time when he came out, right? Because Edstrom and Van Vliet, they still have to pit.
And they're right. I can't believe they're still out there too. This is insane.
See what Edstrom does here. He's coming down this time.
Edstrom's down. Now Van Vliet's gonna follow. Nope, that was Dalton going by. So you see what the difference is right there. Dalton ended up catching him and passing him there.
Van Vliet follows. How about this? Talked about him a little bit earlier, but Bauer's going to lead a lap tonight.
Going to get himself a lap led. That's a bonus point. That adds up, folks. Remember, he was the gatekeeper.
On the cutoff.
He was the cutoff line.
So maybe that was strategy by the 9, just trying to stay out as long as possible to get a lap led to get that extra point.
How crazy it would be if we got a caution right here. Well, he's still going to... Well, I guess...
He would still hit, but, I mean, he would be on the lead lap, and, you know, he would have the freshest tires out of everybody, so...
I'm wondering if there's people out here that has another set land.
Well, if they do...
You get 4 sets in the pits.
They definitely took 3, so I think pretty much everybody's got a set in the pits. Too many tires. Take them away, I say.
Yep.
No, you got to run the whole race on 1 set of tires.
I wouldn't. My vote was take 2 away, and I got told I was crazy for taking 2 of them away. Bauer going to take it down, so that's going to let Chris Carroll be the race leader now. Cody Hines is P2, so now everybody's pit. It's all cycled through. Chris Carroll, Cody Heisman, Jamie Walker, that's your top 3. In 4th, you have Rick Thompson. Dylan Banks is in 5th. Sam, remember we saw him? He had issues on pit road, shot himself in the foot, put himself behind the 8 ball, has Hunter Lagoons and Eric Blount right there behind him. That's your top 7 after the cycle. Corey Sherman's 8th, Larry Bell 9th, and Chad Wilson is 10th.
I do want to point out that Rick Thompson is running a 10th faster than the top 3 right now. Last time by, he was a 10th quicker than the top 3.
Currently, the gap between Rick Thompson and the race leader, it's 1.75. So about a second, 3/4, almost 2 seconds, but it is dropping. It's already down to 1.6.
That time by, he was a little bit slower than the top 3.
The top 3, they have the benefit of the draft, right? But now, Heinzman and Walker, they got to take the dirty air that comes with that in the corners. It's good on the straightaways, hurts you in the corners.
Yeah, but basically throw a blanket over your top 3 right now. I mean, how about Jamie Walker? We really haven't talked about him a whole lot tonight. And he's up here trying to fight for a race win. I mean, you can never count out that number 88.
Started the night off in 11th, up 8 spots. Strong performance. There's a lot of big movers here tonight. Rick Thompson's up 17. Chris Carroll, our race leader, up 16. So a lot of comers and goers here tonight.
Chicagoland never disappoints, honestly.
Update on
one track I wish they would have never actually got rid of in real life.
Right, it's crazy. Makes no sense. We'll give an update on Dalton Kilroy. We saw him lead the charge, was one of the ones that decided to stay out. He is now running 15th. But it scored on the lead lap. Scored on the lead lap. That's very important. Very important here. And now
he's running 0.6 faster than the race leader right now, too.
Right. And now Austin Edstrom, he's running 17, so a little bit behind Dalton, about 7 seconds behind Dalton to be exact. The gap from Edstrom to Chris Carroll, our race leader, is 22 seconds. The gap from Dalton to Chris Carroll, 14 seconds. So it may be manageable in 25 laps. I don't know. But the big thing is he's on the lead lap.
He's got a lot of cars to pass and not a lot of time to do it. A lot of time to gain, but you just said it was 14 seconds. It's already down under 14 seconds now. He gained about 2-3 tenths just that lap. I mean, the math, it's not mathing for him to catch. Let's just put it that way.
He has 17 laps fresh for tires. That's all. I mean, not a whole lot, really. It is almost 20 laps. I get it, but yeah, I don't think the math is mathing out there.
Could still have a quick caution, though. Rick Thompson, that time by, believe it or not, Tanner, was 0.2 faster than the race leader. So I wouldn't count out that number 76 just yet. He's just got to get to them. I don't want to jinx him, but Sherman having a good run tonight. 7th.
A strong night for the Shermanator, the Priority Auto number 3 car here tonight.
So let's go ahead and go through the field here, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Carroll, your race leader. So we got about 22 laps to go. He's got Heinzman close in tow, running second, only 0.2 gap between Carroll and Heinzman. Then you go back another 0.2 to Jamie Walker, but don't look now. You got Rick Thompson back there in 4th. You can see it on your screen right now. That's the top 4. We're going to leave it at that just right now because I want to see Thompson if he can catch the number 88, because he has gained a lot of time here in the last couple of laps. Last time by, he was 0.3 quicker than our race leader. So Rick Thompson's got something figured out. The question is can he get up there and make something happen in the next 21 laps? Looking to the outside of Jamie Walker right now. Heinzman's starting to close in on Chris Carroll. Thompson's got a good run here down the back straightaway. See it on the right-hand portion of your screen. He's almost got him. That is for the bracket challenge too, so Thompson might be going to the finals for that. He moves up into 3rd. The last time by, 0.2 quicker, faster than the race leader for Rick Thompson. So I want to keep an eye on that 76 machine. He's got something figured out here at Chicagoland tonight. I'll just read off the top 10 real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan Banks in 5th, Hunter Laguna is in 6th, Ping in 7th, Corey Sherman in 8th, Ty Morosco after that unfortunate caution for him. He's running in 9th, and his teammate Brian Dees, the Soul Stealer, back here in 10th. Dalton Kilrow has dropped that gap down to about 10.5 seconds. He's running about 4 to 5 tenths quicker than the race leader right now. Obviously not going to be enough time here with 19 laps to go. Chris Carroll, though, leading up 16 spots. Heinzman started in 2nd, currently running in 2nd.
It's Jamie Walker trying to track down the top 4, or top 3 here, excuse me. Going to be 18 laps to go when Chris Carroll leads the charge right across the start-finish line this time by. As I stepped away, so I wasn't sure who you were talking about when I got back, but Gilroy already up to P12, looking for P11. It was smooth until I said something, huh?
No, I was talking about Rick Thompson because he got around Walker when he stepped away there for just a second. And, dude, he's been running faster than the race leaders, about 1/10, 2/10 almost every lap.
Could this be? Is this the night for RT76?
I'm not saying anything because then that would jinx him.
Shout out Van Drake TV, and shout out for the super chat. Keep up their greatest work. $5 super chat from Van Drake TV, I do believe. Shout out to you, brother. We do appreciate it. As it's no secret, I do the post on the BPL Facebook, most of them, right? And I've been talking about how the 99, he's been not winless. I got corrected by Cody Heinzman last week. So Carroll has won since Cody's got here, or arrived into the series. But he has not won since Banks has arrived. He's went winless. He has been on a slump, I called it, when in regards to wins. And he's actually been finishing outside the top 5, which is not like the 99. He's leading here now with 14, 15 laps to go. This could be his night as well.
Thompson's getting closer to that 51.
The only problem the 76 has that right now, it's 2 of them. He has a 51 in front of him and the laps. But I think you are right. That last time by, Thompson 31.61. Carroll was a 31.69.
Well, if anything, he's past Walker, right?
Yep. He's on the podium. A good points night, nonetheless, for the 76. Was also featured on today's episode of Race Chatter. Folks, if you did not know, every Sunday at noon on race days, Corey Sherman and three other guests from BPL will come in and we'll put on a show every Sunday. It's a podcast, video cast. I will say it's not safe for work, right? We have fun on it. We do have a good time. Check us out. Like I mentioned, we had RT76, Rick Thompson, on this afternoon with a really good, great, fun show. Dylan Banks was there as well. It's always good to hear from the drivers. Update on last week's winner, Dylan Banks. He's been the man out front a lot tonight. Started the race in first, but he's just running fifth right now. That mistake on pit road really hurt him. He's faster than Jamie, but I just don't know if he can get there. Jamie's almost 3 seconds ahead of him.
Looks like I'm trying to find something else here, Tanner. It looks like Austin Edstrom. I don't know what happened to him, but he's on pit road. He's been on pit road for 4.5 minutes. Out of the race. Taylor Butcher Benjamin's back out on track leading the modified series. Lawson, he put it on the hauler after lap 29. Aaron Bockover did 22 laps. Chris Berg, you said, had computer issues, so only was able to complete 4 laps. And Gordon Larson Jr. on the hauler as well. So looks like 4 or 5 drivers completely out of this race already.
Chicagoland chewed them up and spit them out. It's a tough track. This is a really, really tough track. They call it a cookie cutter, Sam, and I heard you mention it earlier, but I don't look at this track like your normal, like, say, Charlotte's or Kentucky's. It is
a cookie cutter, but it is very unique.
It drives differently, don't it?
Yes, it does.
And it feels different when you're out there.
That's why I said, I mean, I'm glad we still have it on iRacing. We can kind of preserve it, at least on the sim, but I really wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of it and went to a street course and NASCAR trying to be V8 supercars.
I didn't even know they destroyed it. I just knew they wasn't racing there. I didn't know they took it down.
It's torn down.
Like you said,
they took 2 favorite racetracks people away, and it was Auto Club and Chicagoland.
Right.
The 2 tracks that provided really great racing, they said, nope, we're getting rid of them, and then they put some BS in there. And
look what they did with Atlanta. Did the same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta was another cookie cutter that people could actually enjoy.
It was a great track, and then they ruined it.
Right. They turned it into a super speedway, but hey, you can't go 3 wide. If you do, you're going to wreck. There's no room. It's insane.
Yeah, that was not a good idea. They should have just, if they were going to do anything, just repave it and call it a day.
Right. Or if you're going to try to make it a super speedway, make it a super speedway. Don't be half pregnant.
That's a new one.
Yep. Well, it's half pregnant, right? They changed it halfway.
How about let's point this out. Ty Morosco, after basically getting killed by his teammate, he's running about 10.5, 2 tenths quicker than Dylan Banks right now. He's looking for a top 5.
The highest.
Great comeback.
Highest running Team MFRD driver right now currently. Now Dalton Kilroy, he's charging. Dalton's already up to 8th. So he's definitely going to gain a few more positions, I do believe.
He'd have to run faster than Carroll's second a lap.
He's not. He's not getting up to first, but he might be able to sneak in a top 5 here.
If Morosco can get around Banks, and I mean, Dalton catches Morosco, then probably.
Well, it ain't no problem if he can do it. He might pass both of them when they're facing backwards if they don't be careful.
Almost contact going into 3 and 4 right there as well.
Yeah, if I'm pinging Kilroy, I don't necessarily. I like what I'm seeing, but I don't like what I'm seeing because it's right up my windshield.
It can be spooky.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because it's Ty.
It can be spooky.
It can be spooky.
You see, it sounds like you're speaking from experience.
No, me never.
As
I'm just a
Morosco gets the spot. Yep, that's all I am. I'm a washed up racer broadcaster. I actually have not been called just a broadcaster this season. That's something new. That's good.
I get it every year. Oh, Banks in the outside wall.
Banks is struggling. He's struggling. We watched him struggle Friday night. He's struggling again. That's a little bit of a chink in the armor, I do believe. Maybe the long run speed for the 48's not as good as we thought it was.
Not even going to ask you to repeat what you just said.
Well, I guess you heard it.
I think everybody heard it.
But yeah, in all seriousness though, the 48 looks to be struggling on the long run. Not something we're used to seeing here on a Sunday night, but me and Sam, we were fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to broadcast Friday night together. I was fortunate enough. I was glad to have him. But we saw the same story play out over there.
Hey, I just noticed that Chris Carroll's he's passing Amanda Sherman. I just noticed she has a Race Chatter logo on the hood of that car. That's pretty sweet.
Does she?
Yeah.
That's pretty what?
That's pretty sweet.
You're cutting out. Pretty what?
No, that's yeah, it's pretty.
Pretty what?
Yeah. See that Race Chatter logo right there? Sweet.
That is nice. That's the modified leader. I saw
What's he
him.
doing? Is he still leading the modified series?
He is. He's on the apron. Just
Absolutely he is.
Just putting around.
2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for Chris Carroll. Nobody near him. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Heinzman. And Rick Thompson runs third.
Started tonight 17th. And don't forget, sorry to interrupt, but the bracket challenge. Rick Thompson's ahead of Jamie Walker right now. He's going to advance, it looks like. He gets around track cleanly one more time. And then Cody Heinzman and Dalton Kilroe, they're going head-to-head in the bracket. White flag is out.
Flag in the air. Presented by Priority Auto. I think. I don't know if y'all are still doing that, but I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
Chris Carroll started in 17th. What did I tell you at the beginning of the race? That he would figure it out. Well, he definitely figured it out. He's got one more set of corners to go. Carroll's going to come off turn number 4 and win here at Chicagoland.
For the 5th time this season, the 99 of Chris Carroll brings home the race win. Cody Heinzman's going to be P2. And Rick Thompson, another top 5 finish for the 76. He's going to make it 3rd tonight. We're going to get to talk with him. Jamie Walker 4th. Kyle Morosco 5th after battling back. So great bounce back for the 1. Same can be said for the 41. Stayed out too long. We'll hear from him on after the flag. I know because he shows up. I know he'll be there. So we'll get to hear from him. Hear what he thought. Dustin Ping in 7th. Banks fell all the way down to 8th. Corey Sherman 9th. And Brian the Soul Stiller D's brought the car home in 10th.
Pretty good race. Not going to lie.
Pretty
I
sweet.
hate the car, but, it was pretty sweet. Yeah.
Chris Carroll burns it down. Big time race win. I know it feels good for him. I know he's been wanting it. Been in the hunt for a few weeks. Finally put it all together.
Man, he can't do a burn. He's got traction control. I'm calling it.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it?
Remember that when they said Jeff Gordon had traction control?
It was a talk for a while. I've seen a video on YouTube about it. I don't know when he's actually going to do his burnout. He's finally starting it now? Okay. Well, yeah, Chris Carroll, your race winner here tonight. Going to be extending his points lead over Dalton Kilroe, who came into tonight second, 202 points behind Chris Carroll. That's the season the 99's put together. So, hell of a season for the 99. Let's get to talking to some drivers here, Sam.
I'm going to move them into race room 1 for you.
10-4.
That way they're easy access.
Love me some easy. Come on. As we have our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Mr. RT76, Rick Thompson. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
You've been on fire as of late. Another top 5 finish for you. You was our race chatter guest today, so I know it's just been the ultimate high all day for the 76. How you feeling? And talk me through your race, brother.
Man, I tell you what, if you had told me I was going to be top 3 tonight, I probably wouldn't have believed you. And if you told me I was going to race Jamie straight up like that at the end and be able to come through the bracket, I probably wouldn't have believed that either. But it was a hell of a night for me, bro.
That's another thing. Championship bound in the head-to-head bracket. You're going to be going up against Cody Heinzman. Let me look at the track. It's going to be in 2 weeks at Kansas. So, how you feel about Kansas, and how you feel about the bracket challenge going up against Cody Heinzman for the championship?
Oh man, Cody is going to be extremely tough to beat. The fact that I even made it to the championship, I'm ecstatic about. But obviously, I want to get there and win, so I'm going to try to give him the best. I was racing him pretty hard, and I think I got something for him there, but we'll see how it goes.
You proved the last few weeks you definitely belong in the mix of the top 5, brother. You were doing battle with Heinzman here at the end, and you're going to be doing battle with him in a few weeks. Rick, hell of a night for you, brother. P3, who we got to thank for the 76?
I want to thank my team, Speed Mafia, all the guys that are in my chat, my dad and John. Both of them were helping me out through the whole thing. I want to thank all the league sponsors, Ohio and Indiana Roofing, Blackhawk Motorsports, Butt Kicker, Michael Falk Racing, Five King Motorsports, Priority Auto, all those guys, and everybody like yourself that helped keep the league going. I appreciate it.
Right on, Rick. Like I mentioned, folks, he was on Race Chatter earlier. Hopefully, Rick, maybe on After the Flag. You might be around.
Yeah, I might try to jump in there for a little bit.
Right on, buddy.
Be
Right
there.
on. Well, congratulations, Rick, on the 3rd place finish, and hopefully we're talking to you here in a minute on After the Flag.
Yeah, hey, before I go, Sam needs to broadcast more races because I do better when he's broadcasted.
Right? It's a good luck charm. It's normally the broadcaster curse he hears, so I know he's happy to hear he's got some good luck.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard that one.
Right.
Dude, every time you're on here, I run great. So I don't know what's going on, but keep coming back.
Right on, buddy. Well, Rick, congratulations on the P3, and Sam, I agree. Keep coming back. Rick, we'll holler at you in a little bit, buddy.
And Tanner, right before you get to 2nd place, I do want to shout out. We got a super chat from Van Drake TV. He says, "Keep up the greatest work, guys." So, just want to shout out Van Drake TV for the $4.99 super chat.
Absolutely. I mentioned it a while ago when I saw it. That's a great, great deal. We appreciate it very much. Helps out a ton. Sam, I believe you're getting caught up with our 2nd place guy, the man that you love the nickname of, the Ketchup Man.
I wouldn't say I love the nickname, but
You
I
do.
guess he got it. That's Cody Heinzman, number 51, in 2nd place here this evening. Man, what an up and down night. Now, I do want to question you about what happened between you and Dylan there earlier in the race. What did you feel on your end, first of all?
Well, before I make any concrete statements, I do got to see the replay for myself at some point. But from my end, it just felt like a side draft that went wrong and hooked me into the grass. And I've been the other car doing that to another person before, so I know what it's like to be on that end of it. And that's what it felt like. I just got hooked in a side draft or whatever. But I mean, luckily I didn't hit the wall or anything, and slid it through the grass and got it going again, and just had to claw my way back through the field.
Well, I will tell you that's exactly what happened. I'll also let you know right now there was no netcode involved. It was just a bad side draft gone wrong. But the reason why I bring that up is, I mean, you came back from basically the rear of the field to finish 2nd place. And honestly, me and Tanner were talking about it up here. You came down pit road really early. Was that the plan from the beginning to come down super early, or were you just kind of winging it?
The plan was, for the most part, assuming it went green, I was just going to split that final stage more or less. And I did come down earlier than the split. That was just, in the first half of that run in the 3rd stage, just not being able to pass at all. Once you got on old tires, there's nothing you can do with that dirty air. So I figured, well, my best bet is to try and undercut them a little bit and then just hold them off with the tires. And for what it's worth, I was able, it worked on Rick. I don't know what happened to Dylan, but I effectively jumped Rick using that strategy, and I just couldn't get out ahead of Chris.
Well, you still come home with a great night, finishing 2nd, especially after having to bounce back like you did. So congratulations on your 2nd place finish. You got to thank on the 51.
Well, shout out to all the TNA guys. Shout out to my wife and grandparents who are always watching this. And it's good to see Chad make it to the finish after last week, and his debut didn't go too well. So getting some more momentum going for him. And hopefully I'm feeling a lot better 2 weeks from now. I won't be here next week. I'll be up in the race at Michigan in real life. So I'll be off for that, but I look forward to getting back to it after that.
Well, congratulations on your 2nd place finish, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Cody
Tanner,
Heinzman.
You got our winner?
I do somewhere. Let's get him up here. Let's have a chat with him. It is our big time race winner, Mr. Chris Carroll, driving number 99. Got a copy?
Got a copy, Tanner Marr.
Man, oh man, I feel like we haven't got to talk to you in this victory lane in a few weeks. I've talked about it on air, right? You went winless for a little bit, maybe a little slump for the 99, but you came back punching strong tonight. Got the race win. Talk me through your night, brother.
Well, I mean, it's tough passing out there, Tanner. Had a terrible qualifying lap. I missed turn 3 and 4, something terrible. Had my work cut out for me, and just tried to be smart and come up through there. And really good racing out there tonight. I mean, I'm sure the guys out there weren't having a lot of fun, but there was some tight racing. There was some 3, 4, 5 wide, but I had to just try and play my cards right and try and be there at the end. And you know, you gotta be smart in these races to win. You can't just win them on speed anymore. These guys are all so damn good that you got to play it a different strategy, or you got to find a groove that they can't find. You got to find some speed on the long run. So, you know, tough night, but it worked out and played my cards right.
So, Carol, it's no secret you've been the points leader all season long. We got 2 races remaining of the regular season, and then we're straight into the playoffs starting at Phoenix. What's the strategy for the final 2 weeks? It's built a little bit of momentum as we get into the playoffs in a couple weeks.
Well, as hard as these guys race, and the different strategies now with the not running the full race out with the stages, a lot of it's not decided on our merit. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there completely out of our control with not being able to pass, and guys, you know, blocking guys on old tires, and it's out of your hands. So I'm just gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna stick to my strategy, and I'm gonna play the race out and let it play where the cards lay where they lay. I mean, it's not worth it getting stressed about it. You got to compartmentalize and just do what you do and let the cards lay where they're gonna lay. The chips will fall where they fall, and a lot of it's out of our control now.
That's sound advice though from a past series champion right there. He's just gonna do what he does and do it to the best of his ability. And that's what he does damn near each and every week. So, Chris, you got your 5th win of the season tonight, brother. Who we got to thank for the 99?
Well, I always got to thank you, Tanner Marr. You dragged me into all these leagues and all the stuff I've ever done. Every platform I've raced on in iRacing, it's because of you. And got to thank Brian Zimmerman, USAFirearms.com. He powers all our cars here, the Five Kings boys, the Pit Lizard boys. Got to thank everybody out there, all my friends and family for watching, and I think my folks are up there watching tonight. So, got to thank everybody that works hard in the league to put this on, and everybody that gives us a place to race. Man, we get to live out our childhood fantasies on the internet. So, thank all you guys.
Right on, buddy. Well, shout out to you and shout out to the old man Jake if he's watching. I know he'll laugh when you hear that. So, congratulations tonight, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Chris Carroll, the driver of the number 99 Pit Lizard Performance and Five Kings Motorsports Chevy Camaro, big time race winner. Let's pull up the results, and then I believe it'll be time for After the Flag in roughly about 5 minutes. Let's get that going. We'll go through our final running order here. As Chris Carroll, Cody Hines, Rick Thompson, that's 1, 2, and 3. Jamie Walker's in 4th with Ty Morosco in 5th. Dalton Carroll stayed out a little long, battled back, fought back, and clawed himself back to a very impressive 6th place finish. Dustin Pink in 7th. Banks struggled a little bit, ran good early, ran good most of the night, struggled at the end, finished 8th. 9th, Corey Sherman. 10th is Brian Dees. And 11th, Hunter Lagoons. 12th, Chad Wilson. 13th, John Perkins. Philip Van Fleet, Bright Harmon 14th, Eric Blount 15th, Larry Bell 16th, Amanda Sherman with 1 lap down. First car lap down, Ross Carl 17th, Jason Bauer 18th. 19th was Fred Thompson. Glad to have Fred back. Mike Massagill in the 20, finished 20. Edstrom 21st. TBB, he finished 22nd, but like Sam mentioned, he did lead the modified.
In the modified class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sam Lawson, Bockover, Berg, Lawson, all put the car on the hauler early. That's it. We're done here tonight. Chicagoland's coming on. 162 laps. Sam, final closing thoughts before we close up shop.
It's always fun to be back in a booth on TSP as always. Unfortunately, I can't do it as much as I'd like to anymore, but when I get to come in and hang out with you guys, I always have a blast. So anytime I'm home, if I can join you guys, I'll join you guys. Great race tonight. Congrats to Chris Carroll. A lot of wild strategy. Chicagoland didn't disappoint.
Right on. All right, folks. We'll catch you in about 5 minutes on After the Flag. Until next time, we'll see ya.